Two losses and one wins on Friday for Boston College athletics. Today, I'm going to get into the ups and downs for a chaotic Eagles Friday afternoon and evening.
You are Locked On Boston College, your daily podcast on the Boston College Eagles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Locked On Boston College, your team every day. I'm your host, AJ Black of Eagle Insider, part of the 247 Network. I've been covering Boston College for over a decade. If you're looking for Boston College news, analysis, and details on your Eagles, you are in the right place. Locked On Boston College is a free daily Boston College podcast available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. On today's show, we're going to dive into an up and down Friday for BC Athletics. Two losses, one win. One team starts the season off with a victory and two disappointing losses. We'll get into all of that on today's show. Let's kick it off with hockey, who played against Merrimack on Friday night to play the Merrimack Warriors at Lawler Arena in Andover, and BC ends up losing this game 4-2. It was a game, BC, when I was watching this, BC was up early. They took a 2-1 lead in this one, but it was a late collapse by BC. They were tied. They gave up the lead in the second period and then let up two goals in the third to fall to Merrimack. Now, just overall, this kind of falls into that EVM category for them, in my opinion, right? Like, you were flying high after a Beanpot championship. You won a big game against your rivals, BU. You ended that drought, and then to follow it up with another loss. Like, you got to get some consistency here, folks. Like, the defense in the end of this game really made quite a few mistakes. We saw Armin Manishin make a few costly errors there at the end. And, it was the usual suspects that scored for BC. You had, a goal by James Higgins. You had Dean Letourneau make another goal. But Merrimack is not a team you should lose against. They're not a very good team in the conference. They were 15-12 on the season, but that third period fall apart for BC was you can't do that. Now they get Merrimack back home on Saturday, so BC is going to have a chance to get that revenge win, but you really were hoping, especially when you're looking ahead towards the NCAA tournament, you needed two wins against Merrimack to really solidify your spot. They didn't get that here. So a disappointing loss for BC, and it's the second out of three games that they've had disappointing games against. Like, you go back to the game against Vermont, like, they got to be more consistent. They got to play better and play more like they did against BU, but we didn't see that on Friday. The other games that happened this weekend, we saw lacrosse, and I'm going to get into what happened with the lacrosse game in just a moment.
I'm Kalia Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. Dawn Staley and South Carolina remain on top of the SEC standings after handing Tennessee their worst defeat in program history with a final score of 93-40. In the 43-point win, South Carolina shot 69% from the field. Tessa Johnson had a perfect shooting night, scoring 24 points, shooting 4 for 4 from the floor, including 2 threes, and made all 4 of her free throws. And UCLA remains undefeated in Big Ten play, topping Michigan 69-66 as Player of the Year contender Lauren Betts put up a double-double, scoring 16 points, collecting 16 rebounds, and adding 5 assists and 3 blocks. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts the same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
Welcome back. This is Locked On Boston College, AJ Black, and we're discussing Friday's action here on our bonus episode, our extra episode of the day. We do like a little 10-minute, and as you can see, my background, I actually switched because I'm recording at 5 a.m, and there's a boiler in the other room, and I didn't realize how loud it is. I'm away for the weekend with my family, and I wanted to record, but I don't like the virtual backgrounds. They look like crap. So Unfortunately, you get the basement behind me, so hopefully you can deal with that for one show. I'll Everyone else is asleep. It's 5 a.m. here, and I'm up and recording for you guys. Now, BC women's lacrosse played their second game of the season on Saturday in the field house, and yeah, let's talk about another team that had things fall apart for them late, as the women's team came out very strong against number 16 Notre Dame and fell apart late because they let up 6 unanswered goals in the the final frame in terms of this game. Like, you had the lead, you saw some good plays early with goals by Kylie Colbert and Marissa White, Hannah Davis, and Molly Driscoll playing pretty well, and then it just completely falls apart. So my big question right now, lacrosse is down to 0-2. They've, obviously you lose to Northwestern. They're a good team, right? Now you lose to Notre Dame. This begs the question, is this team in rebuild mode, or is this team going to be able to turn it around this year? I honestly think it's probably too early to tell. It obviously stings losing Notre Dame. You never lose to Notre Dame in anything. But 0-2, you don't see this out of BC women's lacrosse teams. I don't know what's going on here. So hopefully they're going to be able to turn it around. And it doesn't get any easier because they're going to go to Atlanta next week to face number 19 Michigan. So, lacrosse is a bit of a buzzsaw. You don't get weeks off. So I think that game will get us a better data point for what we're seeing here with the women's team. Is this an issue going on? Is this really a rebuilding year, or was this just a slow start? They've got talent on this team. We've talked all about, the transfers they've landed. They got the best goalie in the country. And the goalie was playing well until the end. I mean, it's just, you're now 0-2 and your record speaks for yourself. So that was another disappointing loss there. And before we get into our final discussion here, I want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock in. And not only can you pick cash, but you could send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get yourself started with a chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. With Jason Tatum coming back, maybe I need to get it on this. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook betting partner of the NBA. Locked on Boston College, AJ Black here, doing a Friday night recap of everything that happened. There was a big weekend of BC sports. On Saturday, we're going to have BC basketball playing against Cal. They're going to be looking to end their 5-game losing streak and probably won't. And we have baseball going on and hockey. So I'm probably going to go live again tomorrow as long as I can get myself up. So not live. I'll have another recording for you because I love you guys. And this is what we do here at Locked On BC. We give you BC sports. BC is a big deal to me. I'm going to treat it like a big deal for all of you as well. Now, for baseball started their season off in Puerto Rico on Friday night against Seton Hall, and they grabbed a good first win. You saw a good game out of AJ Colaroso, the starting pitcher who, pitched quite well, only allowing 2 unearned runs. And then your relief pitchers also had a very, very good game. Cesar Gonzalez, he had 2 strikeouts right away. But then, there was a really, really bad injury to Justin Ford, a player for Seton Hall. Do not look this up. It is gruesome. Do not watch that. But this was Todd Ball at his best. We're going to call it that, right? Todd Ball. Base runners everywhere, running. You saw some great plays in terms of offense from some great hitting from Carter Hendrickson, Jorge Soler, Nick Wang. But it was the pressure that we saw a runner score on a wild pitch. Like, that kind of pressure is what Todd Internado is going to be doing. There was maybe a little bit more base runners left on base that you'd like to see, but it's the pressure that they put on opposing teams that really set the tone in this game. So 6-4 winner for BC baseball. Love to see them start the season off right. Now they get to go on the road to continue the Puerto Rico challenge on Saturday, excuse me, and they're going to play at noon against Houston. So game 2 is against Houston. Hopefully they can, I said win 2 games and this is a success. So that's where they're at. And we'll talk about more about that on tomorrow's show. So thank you all for joining us. I appreciate, my goal. So I've said this before. Let me kind of take a step back here. If you've listened to my past episodes, I've said before, like I cover football on the main show. Now, the Locked On is working towards getting more content out to you guys, and they're asking for more like shorter form, like 10-minute shows. So I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to. I do love hockey, basketball, baseball, but it doesn't get the connection that football does. And if that's what my main show is, I'm going to do football every time. So we're going to be talking more baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, and everything in between. On Monday's show, I'm going to be talking about that seating deal, the new seats that are coming in. I got to talk about what that means to BC and why, even if you're not able to spend $20,000 on a box, you should care about it. So there's going to be a lot going on. The show, this channel is going to start to really get big. So hopefully you're part of that. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're a BC baseball, hockey, basketball fan, get on this channel because we're going to start adding more and more content to it. So hopefully I'll see you guys all there. And thank you all for joining me today for Locked On Boston College, your team every day.